agriculture in India. Okay, agriculture in India. So in that we have discussed about due to the green revolution effects, what are the problems faced by the northern states. Okay, especially we have discussed about the water. Yes or no? So in the North India's first green revolution, after the green revolution, they introduced in the northern states, Punjab, Haryana and UP. Yes or no? So at that time, by using of more groundwater levels, okay, it is reached the level, you know, dangerous to be forming again. That much level it has reached. Yes or no? So now another one, fertilizer problems. Okay, fertilizers problem. Of course, they will get the yield by using of all these high yielding varieties. Okay, by using fertilizers and by using a great irrigation methods. Okay, but the naturally whatever we are getting the sources, because agriculture farming is depends on obviously on the natural resources. Yes or no? So that is going to be spoiled, like water scarcity happened in northern states, right? Same like that. Okay, and the fertilizers problem. Okay, so before that problem, first of all you have to know the types of fertilizers. Okay, see, do you know manure, or also do you know the compost fertilizer? Of course, nowadays nobody. Okay, some places who are the awareness about, or also who are doing organic farming. Okay, organic farming. I think you might have heard about organic fruits. Okay, organic grains like that. It is so costly comparing with our another normal vegetables and normal grains. You might have seen if you go to any areas, organic farm of products available here. Like that, they will keep some of board also, right? But it's so high costly. Why? Because they'll use manure and a compost. Okay, manure and a compost type of fertilizers. Right? Understood? See here, this is how now in the who are doing the farming type of organic farming, those are using the manure and compost type of fertilizers, right? Even in the olden days also, okay, in the earlier agriculture farming also done by using of these fertilizers. Okay, done by using of these fertilizers. See what happened, you know, by using of these fertilizers, by using of manure and compost fertilizers, the result and whatever the decomposing of these, it will be slowly released into the soil. Okay, and the decomposing method also it reaches the process very slowly. Okay, and it takes some time also to decompose and to reach that soil whatever the minerals. Okay, that's why people are started using of chemical fertilizers. Okay, people have started using of chemical fertilizers. So by using of chemical fertilizers, what happening, you know, see, when they use the chemical fertilizers, that all chemicals will be dissolved in the water. Okay, and it will be reached, when it is dissolved in the water, it will be reaches to the plants immediately. Okay, it reaches to the plants immediately, and the plants can grow very earlier than comparing when the using of this compost type of biofertilizers. Understood? But due to this, by using of chemical fertilizers, many problems are facing, especially the nature. Okay, nature is going to be destroyed. How, you know? See, when they are using chemical fertilizers this year, for example, okay, even for the next year, what happens, you know, if they using of every year like that, the chemicals whatever they dissolved in the water, of course it reaches to the plant immediately, but the remaining wastages are unused by the plant, that all dissolved into the ground, that all dissolved into the soil, that is reaches to the spoiling of the soil. And as well as after applying of the fertilizers, if it is a rain comes or also heavy heavy water into the areas of our farming areas. What we will do? Will remove that water. Where do we remove that all removed water? It will be reaches to the what canals or also near the streams and rivers. Yes or no? So when we remove whatever excess water into the farms, that will be reached into the rivers and yes or no? See, here we applied fertilizers. It reached. Okay, but due to rain, unsudden rain, or also due to the heavy water in this area, will remove. It is reaches to the river flow or stream flow. See that all chemicals, whatever we applied chemicals, that all reaches here also. In this way, as well as unused particles, it is retained in the soil. Okay, and as well as whatever when we are removing the water and when we are mixing into the rivers or canals, okay, or else in the tanks, okay. So in the water also these chemicals also will be going to this water. So this gives the reason of polluting of water and soil. Okay, due to the use of chemical fertilizers, okay, we are getting returns very soon than comparing with the manures or biofertilizers, but soil and water become polluted. And as well as, you know what, if the person in the same farming, if he uses many years chemical fertilizers, the soil after some years it could not be able to form again. Okay, the soil is not suitable to form again after some years. Okay, the soil is going to be a waste land. If chemical fertilizers will used by the farmer many years, understood, and that we are calling as loss of soil fertility, understood. So if he want a recharge of soil fertility, it took so many years. Of course, nowadays our farmers using of some of missions, okay, by tying with the tractor, with the help of the tractor, they are doing up and down of the soils. You might have seen if you go, okay, up and down of the soils, or also they use a Geluga type of to make that soil fertility. Did you heard about Geluga? Okay, our term I used, okay, Geluga, our parents, our farmers will use, right? So why they cultivate that Geluga? To make that soil fertility. Okay, so Geluga they will use, and up and down soil they'll make it off. Of course, these type of methods also they'll use some years, but if they continue these type of some after many years, the soil is become loss of soil fertility. Okay, it takes many years. As I told you, nature whatever we are spoiling because we are not producing that at a time. Whatever we are getting instantly, that instantly we are using happily now. Yes or no? Instantly we are using happily now, but that is leads to the destroying of nature. Not only in this way, deforestation, everything. Yes or no? That reaches to the spoiling of the nature. And if we want to get back that nature, it takes many years. For example, petroleums, whatever we are using, okay, and minings, minerals we are using by digging into the earth, and we are getting out the mining and we are consuming now. With the excess also we are consuming now. Even yesterday we have discussed about groundwater. Okay, when it is excess using of the nature resources, okay, it reaches the depletion of our nature resources. By getting back of that natural resources, it takes many years. Okay, understood? So these are the fertilizers problems. I think you understood, right? See here, this problem is falling groundwater levels is faced by 10 out of 12 districts of Punjab and 9 out of 12 districts of Haryana. Even these fertilizers problems in the Punjab, in the Punjab, in the Haryana, in the Punjab 12 districts, if it is a 12 districts, out of 12 districts, 10 districts are facing this fertilizers problem, as well as in the Haryana also. Okay, many people are facing that all problems. Okay, See, experts fear that agriculture in Punjab could be danger, as I told you, right? Okay, could be so much danger, as I told you about the water problem, and as well as even the fertilizers problem also. Okay, see here, environmental resources like soil fertility and groundwater are built up over many years, as I told you just now. Once destroyed, it is very difficult to restore them. Okay, if it is a destroy of natural resources like soil fertility, it takes many years to restore them. Okay, see, similarly environmental imbalances. Okay, similarly environmental imbalances are being faced by other regions with large scale use of HYVs. Understood? Given that agriculture is heavily dependent on natural resources. Yes, because we are depending on the farming outside. It depends on the soil, depends on the water. Okay, depends on the sunshine. Okay, depends on the rainwater. This is all natural resources, right? So the farming sector obviously depends on what? Natural resources. Okay, here they gave what is fertile soil. Okay, up to now I have explained that. I think you might have understood. To be fertile, soil has to provide the right amount of water, minerals and air to the roots of a plant. Understood? A soil has to give minerals, water to the roots. Understood? Has to provide amount of water, minerals and air to the roots of the plant. Then only the plant can grow properly. Yes or no? To do this, it must have correct texture and correct composition of this soil. To give out of the water and air to the roots, it should be have a correct texture. Soil is composed of mineral particles, okay, as well as organic components, okay. To be available to roots, the minerals must be dissolved in the water. See, from the soil only, these plants' roots absorb water, minerals, okay, and air. If it is this soil is not having a correct texture, so the plant cannot grow properly. So that we are calling as soil fertile soil. Understood? Fertile soil. And the third phase, okay, from 1990s to till the present areas, okay, we are in third phase. Understood? Post-reform agriculture, okay, post-reform agriculture. Understood? See, from 1967 to 1991. 1967 to 1991. Understood? Indian farmers sold their produce to market within the country and the government through the FCA. In that years, Indians were sold their surplus of the grain to the government through FCA. FCA means Food Corporation of India. See, which is very nearly located to our school. Did you see? Here, very near to us. A big godown is there. That is government godown. Okay, godown. FCI, Food Corporation of India. People were also dependent on markets within the country for their food purchases. Yes. Foreign trade in farm products was not allowed. Here you have to think here. Foreign trade in farm products was not allowed. Exports of most farm goods, especially food grains, was banned. Okay. Exports of food grains, okay, exporting of food grains were banned. Understood? And even as well as importing also. Imports were also not allowed. Yes. It was only the government that had the right to import from the products in case of scarcity. If it is India became a scarcity. Okay. So at that time only government only will take the decision decision about the importing from the other countries. Okay, especially in the food grains. Okay, why they are taking that type of decisions then? Because, for example, okay, of course you will have a continue of that topic. We have also seen the government supported farmers through the supply of cheap farm inputs and by offering to buy farm products at minimum support price. Government will give, okay, minimum support price to the farmers and they will buy the food grains from the farmers. See, minimum support price is nothing but from this, how these government, how they will be calculate this MSP, how they will calculate, how you know, it depends on the whatever the farmers spent on capital. Okay, see, whatever farmers spent on capital, that farming area, and it a combination of plus of some profit. For example, 1 acre of land cultivated by a farmer, okay, by the paddy grains, for example, building, okay, cultivated by a farmer. For that investment, working capital, he might be kept for 1 acre, maybe like just assume, just a figure I'll tell you, maybe like it nearly takes 50,000 also nowadays. Yes or no? Nowadays, that means for plantation only it takes 6,000, 7,000 like that, not 15. It's say like maybe 15,000. Understood? Okay? It's maybe like 15,000. Plantation for 1 acre, 6,000, and seed grains, like that all. By measuring of all this, grassly, I gave a amount of 15,000. Okay? See here, if that 15,000 and as well as fertilizers cost, okay, and irrigation cost, understood? If by this all combined, maybe around 50 to 60, just we will assume, okay, 60 to 60,000, just assume, okay. So whatever he got the grains when he sold out, 60,000 plus some profit he will get by the FCI's MSP. Understood? He will get some of the profit as well as working capital plus some of the profit from that land whatever the farmer kept. Okay? That is minimum support price. Understood? By whom? By the government. Or else what is happening, you know, these farmers have to be sell these all the grains to other agents, but they will buy for very less price, very cheap price. By in that way, if they sell to that agents, these farmers cannot get a return back of his working capital also. Yes, sir, whatever he invested, he cannot get the return back also. So that's why government has taken the decision of grains, okay, in the form of MSP. Government will ensure that MSP. So whoever selling to the government by FCI, those should be get off that much price. Understood? See, earlier this type of started, but after some days, what happened, you know, some of the agents attracted the farmers and they have given more, just some more of the MSP, and they have bought from the farmers. So farmers habituated that selling to the agents. But what happens, you know, of course it ran some of years, it so smoothly, okay, more than that price agents are buying now, so farmers are habituated. But after some years, what happened, you know, the agents they have taken out the grains and they sold it to the wholesale traders and all, to the big markets, and they have sold, but they did not give the money back to the farmers. Okay, how much that amount? For example, 60,000 plus profit, maybe it reaches to the, as for the government, 80,000. Assume, okay, assume it. But the agents came and they bought it for 90,000. Okay, But even these 90,000 also, the agents did not give return back to the farmers after habituation of some years. Okay, so due to in that cases, it is nothing but fraud by the agents. Yes or no? So that's why government again started nowadays. If you go to the fields, you can observe nowadays also the farmers are selling to the FCI only. Did you see? Farmers are waiting in the line of some. Waiting in the line means not in the queue. Okay, they will give a slip. They'll get a slip of some of bags and some of so and so name person of the farmer have some of bags of like this, and that we will go and ensure in the that FCIs. Okay, FCIs means not godowns because they will ensure the VRO places and all. They have given the responsibility of that. Okay, and we will get on one number, token number. Okay, so the farmer has to be wait. The farmers has to be wait about that when he will get the token number. When he will get the token number, see that for officials of that government, they will combine. They bought the whatever the paddy we have, paddy or grain we have, and they will give that money into our bank account without any fraud. Yes or no? It is a safe way for the farmers, and as well as they are getting minimum support price. Understood? I'll continue. Welcome back. See, now next topic is foreign trade in farm products. Okay, foreign trade in farm products. Farm products means our agricultural products. Okay, see here, before 1991, the farm products also to be export and import from other countries. But after that, many changes occurred. Okay, many changes occurred about the imports and exports of the farm goods. Okay, see, not only in India, okay, not only in India, many other developing countries also have taken that type of about this decision about the foreign trade, about the goods. Okay, see, many developing countries in Asia, Africa and South America have made similar changes in the policies. Yes, about the foreign trade policies, many developing countries also have made many changes. Okay, see, this is because developed countries are putting pressure on them to allow foreign trade. See, developing countries are putting high pressure to allow the foreign trade. Why? Because they will get some more earn, whatever we have surplus here to reach out all over the countries. So remaining surplus, if they sell into other countries, they'll get more income. Yes or no? These developed countries want to sell their surplus farm products in the developing countries that have large number of buyers. Okay, see, with this foreign trade policy changes, many crops can now be traded. For instance, farmers can now export vegetables, fruits, sugar, jaggery. Okay, farmers can now export which type of goods? Vegetables, fruits, sugar and jaggery. Okay, not all the grains. Grains should not be export. Understood? And similarly, can import cotton, rubber, pulses, oil seeds. Understood? See, among of all this only imports and exports, they have given some of specific goods only can go for imports and exports. Okay, but especially for the goods, the government is not allowing to do the foreign trade. Understood? See, what we can import from other countries: cotton, rubber, pulses, oil seeds. See, that's why only we are getting the foreign brands also nowadays. Some, not nowadays, from many years of course. Okay, we are getting in our India, into our places also, we are getting available of foreign brands of clothes and footwear and whatever we will use. Yes or no? Like that. Can export what? Fruits, vegetables, sugar and jaggery. Then only whoever the foreigners can taste of our mangoes. Yes or no? Like that. Here, the Indian government has been cautious, okay, to allow trading food grains. Indian government is very cautious about food grains export and import, okay, in that very cautious. That's why only whoever will go, the checkings in airports, yes or no? They will check, and in some places they'll throw out if they saw any food grains and all. In some places, of course, it depends. But in our places also, can anyone take out bags of rice or bags of paddy? No. Only they are allowing cloths, any other items. Yes or no? Only the government can do to it. So if it is vicious, if a government think, okay, if it is scarcity, if it is a drought years are continuous, at that time government should think about the importing of food grains. Understood? Here, see, foreign trade could cause farmers' income fluctuate. See, why the government is so cautious in food grains? Okay, I'm sorry, fluctuate, because see, once in a year, if any one farmer, if they sold it to, if they imported to the other country, may this farmer got a profit of 10%. So at the habituation, remaining all 10% of the farmers also will do. Yes or no? Those also will get the same profit. But it may not be same in the next year. Yes or no? It may not be same in the next year. May the prices will decline. May they did not get a 10% or as 1% or as 5%. If they get only this much, the exporting cost also it will be burdened by the farmer. Yes or no? So that's why, due to the fluctuating of prices, when they involved in the foreign export, okay. So due to the fluctuates of the prices, okay, the farmers get into the debts, right? If they are depending on only in these cases, so that's why government is so cautious in exporting of food grains. Understood? Farmers could lose because of cheap imports, okay, or falling prices of farm products. Small farmers without much savings will not be able to bear this loss. If any of the small farmers in this, if he got profit, okay, but every time will not get the profit, right? The prices will always fluctuate internationally, okay. So if he get into the loss, the small farmers get into the debts. Yes or no? They will get caught into the debt trap and become poorer. Okay, that leads to again the government nation become poorer. So that's why government regulate on this foreign trade of food grains. Understood? Here, why does government buy and store some grains? Okay, why does government buy and store some grains? See here, a lot of grains coming to the market at the time of harvest. Yes, that we know. One problem that farmers face is lower price of grain during this time. This means farmers are not able to sell the grain at a high enough price to be able to repay their loans. They need to be protected from traders. Therefore, the government has decided to set MSP, as I told you, right? See, why the government is buying, because sometimes the agents will create less price for the particular good and all. But if at that time, if the farmers will sell, he could not get at least his investments. Yes or no? So what is the next situation? He has to be store that whatever he got the farm product after some years, after some months, I'm sorry, if it is years it will be spoiled. Okay, after some months he is going to be sell. But till the time where he will store, of course previously some decades back, like 2 decades back, they'll have special houses to store their paddies and all. But nowadays Nowadays our farmers do not have that much, right? So that's why government is buying and storaging of that food grains. Understood? So then government is giving a correct price, as I told you about the MSP. Excuse me. As I told you about the MSP, right? Minimum support price. So government will give to the farmers minimum support price, and they will purchase all food grains and they'll settle down into the godowns. Okay, they'll store that all godowns, and in any another countries, if they are in a drought places, or else if they have any problems, at that time the government will be supplied to these countries. Supplies to the states. Okay, which are in a drought, or else very less products if they got. Okay, so supplying to the people of that states, these government will be sending to them. And even it is these godowns, whatever the storage, that all food grains in the form of ration every monthly we are getting, and as well as especially in the hospitals, government hospitals, and even in the schools, they are offering the midday meals. So this is all come from the storages of government godowns. Okay, understood?